So what I didn't say, which I really want to say, is this is a great opportunity to, in your relations with other people, check in with the triggers. Hey, little mini boo, say hi, baby. Check in with the triggers. If you're triggered, if you get angry, if you feel really stubborn, you feel really stuck in your own way, this is the time and the moment to look at these nostalgic memories. Okay, especially with Mars and Leo being in the Sun in Cancer right now, as well as Taurus. You got Venus where? Where's Venus? Back in Leo. Oh God. Okay, so they have a relationship. Be very careful with just being dramatic and not being willing and able to embrace a certain sense of harmony because you're so used to the chaos. This is the big warning. If you've been used to chaos, you find a harmonic partner, you might likely want to destroy that relationship. So stay tuned, hit the thumbs up and the likes button. All right. This is your AstroShaman. Asking to join a membership. Drop the Leo or the Taurus bull emoji down at the bottom if you make it to the end of this video. Love. All right. So we have Mars squaring Uranus. Mars is in Leo, Uranus is in Taurus. And what's dope about this is, which may not necessarily feel dope to everybody out there, is that Mercury in Gemini also squared, but it's separating from Neptune in Pisces. So there's a lot of things to unpack in this. I'm going to do my best to do it. So this is your AstroShaman Pernell Bobby. All right. We're generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human design and genetic astrology. If you're looking to join in on my courses, Sunday we're going through what is considered midterms for the members. So definitely come ahead and join us. Join the membership this Sunday, or I look to probably put out a separate link for people who want to do just the course information. So if you want that, just say in the comment, I want to join just the course, not necessarily the membership, and and I'll create based off the demand. So that's it. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button early. Mars in Leo, a fixed energy. Uranus and Taurus, a fixed energy. We need to look at Mars, which is naturally owned by the Sun. Okay, well, not Mars, but Leo, who's naturally owned by the Sun. And so we need to apply the fact that the Sun is in Cancer, very nostalgic energy. All right, and the Mercury will very quickly be there. All right, it's at 29 degrees right now as I speak this message, so it's already at this critical degree of certain discussions and certain conversations that actually need to be had, but we're living in our own fairy tale. We're living in our own wonderland. And what we've done is we've successfully believed our own convincing lie that we are the perfect mind readers, where though that is true, and we learn to do this very young, early in childhood, between like 7 to 9 years old, for certain people, depending on who you are, as you get older and you start meeting it with certain realities, which this square will bring, we'll start realizing like not every step of the way were we correct. And some step of the way we were correct in our over imagination inside of our own world, our subjective reality. And I have definitely been here as an INFP. For those of you who are my INFPs out there, I am one of them. So the magic is what allows us to create a world free of suffering and a world full of harmony and love and bliss and universal greatness, right? But on the downside, it's like we still live on Earth. So this is one thing happening with the Mercury square Neptune transit. And it really is what happened right prior to Mars and Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus. So this is happening at 21 degrees, the degree of Sagittarius, which means already this is telling me that, one, we're going through some sort of a change. Okay? Gemini and Pisces, aka Mercury in Gemini, Neptune and Pisces, both again, mutable energies. Something's changing. Something changing not only in our mind, but because certain interactions and discussions and peers that we're meeting that are in our local environment are actually getting us and having us to remember what happened in 2016, what happened in 2015. And I got that from Solar Joe. I don't know, I didn't do any years to be precise, so I'm just saying it out there, but I did hear from other astrologers that in these years were some of the stuff that we're rewinding and we're looking back at this stuff. So the year itself, don't put any weight on that. But what we are having is Mercury in that Neptune. It will bring up subconscious memories. It'll bring up subconscious programs and things that we have said, things that we have acted upon that created a reality for us. And we will likely have met that reality. And it's a very long story. This has happened since at least 2022. And so it's kind of wrapping up because Mars in Leo is a very much a sign about authenticity, but it's about cutting the chains that is now allowing us to creatively express ourselves and to live with honor, okay? To live with stepping outside of what the social and conventional constructs are. And that's just a part of Sagittarius, who is this fiery, immutable energy that says, you know what, look, I am financially equipped and I am psychologically evolved. And as such, I've been able to structure my own personal moral reasoning. And that is separate from society, separate from the community around me. It is not dictated by my environment. It is, I am the one who is a power presence in this environment. And because I'm Leo right now, I'm fixated in it. Now, the downside is because the sun is in Cancer, who owns Leo, we're fixated in what exactly? Nostalgic past life memories of when people either hurt us, made us feel guilty, have gaslit us. And this is what you got to be very careful, because Mars in Leo is trying to ask us to cut from these family conditions in a way where we can do it with generosity and love. Not where we need to go ahead and bite their head off, but how can we meet this with generosity, magnanimity, and love? That's one end. Now, Square Taurus is saying, do I have the money right now? Do I have my own personal security and safety in line and intact? Do I have the actual resources that allows me to feel safe enough to be generous? Okay. And what's already tricky about this square is that's a trap, right? That's a trap. Why is it a trap? Because by you being generous, by you being loving, by you giving, by you being charitable, all Leo-S type things, guess what? All Neptune and Pisces type things, guess what? You get back. You get poured into abundantly, okay? With so much loving light. And so that's what we got to watch for, my personal opinion. Now, separate from that, sex life is a big thing on the docket right now. In relationships, the moon is in Libra as I record this message on the day of, and it's not making very nice aspects. I don't remember what in the moment, so I won't go too deep. But it's not making nice aspects. I think it's making like a semi-square to Leo. Okay, so relationships right now, it's like one of you in the relationship might be standing up and really feeling really bright right now. Another one of you might actually be very much trapped in the head. And so what this can create is, it's like a certain sense of, I don't know if dissent is the word, but just a certain sense of just aggression and um, you know, melancholy, but also over assertiveness, like being overly active is what I want to say. This can create a sense of hyperactivity, especially with Gemini and Mercury at 29 degrees as I make this video. This is hyperactivity in the mind, and this is the ego really, really in the mind being fueled by a childlike energy. Okay, the child who was not listened to, the child who maybe somebody thought you were lying, the child who, when you came to them about, mommy, daddy, I saw a dragon, and you really did, and they didn't believe you. Now it's like everything I say, no one believes me, so I might as well live in my own imagination world anyways. But this is hurting in relationships because it's like when we do that, it doesn't separate the fact that reality still is. Just because my own internal subjective reality is what I deemed it to be doesn't mean that it's accurate. So Mars and Leo was asking us to actually cut through these conditionings, and how our most caring parent may have really shaped our action, our drive, as well as us, the sense of our sexuality and how we express that sexuality. And when I say sexuality, understand I'm saying sexual energy, creative childlike energy. So it's like whether I'm a singer, whether I like to play the drums, these are forms of expression of sexual creative energy that is getting exerted, but also is staying fixated with that square to Taurus, saying at a foundational level, okay, I am looking to honestly create some sense of a shock tactic. So I might actually use fear or sharp objects. Okay, this is the downside. Use fear or sharp objects or something to threaten my partner, threaten the people that I'm in relation with, whether it's a business partner, a social peer, or a lover. How are we being mindful of how we're threatening the security of the people we're with? One way to do this is to be like really moving abroad, because Uranus is in the mix. It's like, okay, well, if I have the money, I'm going to use the money to create a sense of fear so my partner can kind of do what I want them to do, right? Because like, well, I got the money and you don't, so because of that, I run the rules. And it's like, that's not going to work very well in this squaring energy. If just say, let that as an example. Now, separately, what this could also mean is, really wanting to have sex in wild and extravagant places, something completely unconventional. This is kind of stuff where it's like, look, bring out the whips and chains, bring in the BDSM. If not that, like, bang me in a place where I'm actually in danger, like where we can get caught. Like I'm trying to like make out with somebody in a car and fog up the windows and have the cops come in with flashlights. We've all been there. Hit the thumbs up and likes button, baby. Um, and it's almost like right now, if the sex is not necessarily risky, it may seem like it's completely absent or not even necessarily desired. Be careful with this because this is a transit. Okay, now if you have a Mars square Uranus naturally, then you may naturally be like this on a regular basis. But be very mindful of this. This can break up a lot of relationships, a lot of solid, safe, secure relationships that are actually full of enough fun, vigor, risk, and excitement, but at a slower pace. This is the kind of transit I'm asking you, I'm telling you very clearly, slow your motherfucking roll. Slow your motherfucking roll. Because if you move too quickly, you will likely hurt somebody that you really care for and they really care for you, but there's a tremendous amount of miscommunication in the moment. So this is your AstroShaman Pernell Bobby. Actually hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Join us this Sunday for the membership. If you're interested in courses, drop courses down below. If you made it to the end of this, I want you to drop which energy you're resonating with more. Drop a lion or a Leo symbol because you're rocking with Mars and Leo, or drop a Taurus or a bull symbol because you really resonate with the Taurus energy in this transit, and you're going to take it slow and slow it down, slow the risk down, slow the sex down, slow the exertion of how you want to rip free into this authentic body, into this authentic heart version of yourself, but to do it in a manner that is still methodical, still paced. So drop either the Leo or the Taurus emoji if you made it to the end of this video. This is your Astro Shaman Pernell Bobby. Acting hit the thumbs up button one last time. I will see you soon.